The air just froze. You know, it wasn't a camera flash this time.
No, this was different. This is the sound of a private message, something meant for just one person, suddenly exploding into the public eye, like ammunition.
We're talking about what feels like the final collapse of, well, maybe the most complicated sister relationship in pop culture.
Absolutely. Alleged private texts, Jamie Lynn Spears to Kevin Federline's wife about Britney.
Published in Federline's new memoir, no less.
And they cut deep, questioning Britney's parenting, her stability, just months after the conservatorship finally ended. The drama is huge.
It really is. But maybe the strategy behind why this leaked now, that's what we need to unpack.
That's the plan.
Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
Okay, so today we are really getting into a bombshell revelation. These alleged private texts from Jamie Lynn Spears about her sister Britney.
And they're surfacing now, specifically in Kevin Federline's memoir, You Thought You Knew.
It's not just family fighting, is it? This feels like, well, like PR warfare using old messages.
Totally. And let's get the context right, because it's critical. These weren't recent texts. They're reportedly from 2021.
Right after the conservatorship ended?
Exactly. Two, apparently quite lengthy messages. And who did she send them to? Not their mom, not a mutual friend.
Kevin Federline's current wife, Victoria Prince.
That choice of recipient, it says so much, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It signals an alliance, almost. A shared viewpoint, maybe, related to Kevin and the boys, Sean Preston and Jayden James.
And think about the timing. Britney gets her freedom back after 13 years, and almost immediately this narrative starts bubbling up from inside her circle, questioning her fitness.
So the first message, according to the reports, was sent after Britney had supposedly lashed out online at her sons.
That's the alleged trigger. And Jamie Lynn apparently wrote to Victoria expressing, intense empathy for the boys.
Saying she felt for those boys so much and couldn't imagine what her actual children must feel like at times. That's quite personal.
It is. But the part that really reveals the dynamic with Britney, or at least Jamie Lynn's perspective on it, is this analogy she used.
Ah, yeah, the boat thing.
Exactly. She described herself as a dingy trying to survive in a wave caused by another ship.
Wow. Painting Britney as this huge, uncontrollable force.
And herself as the victim, just trying to stay afloat, feeling she has to rescue herself from Britney's drama.
But the core accusation, that's the headline grabber, isn't it?
It is, allegedly claiming Britney was incapable of taking accountability.
And so unaware of anything outside of herself?
I mean, that's an incredibly harsh assessment of your own sister.
Especially one who just fought tooth and nail for her autonomy and won.
Then comes the second message, and this one. Even more pointed about Britney's parenting.
This was supposedly after Jamie Lynn bought Jayden a piano for Christmas.
Yeah.
And he thanked her.
Right, and the message is apparently all about thanking Kevin and Victoria.
Saying she was so thankful they'd raised the boys to be well-mannered, appreciative, and kind.
And then the kicker.
Saying she was sure Britney had never thanked y'all for raising her children.
And then thanking them for doing what Britney couldn't be bothered to do as a parent.
Oof. That is direct.
To have that kind of private condemnation from your sister end up in your ex-husband's tell-all book, it shifts everything.
It's not just a family squabble then. It feels like a calculated move.
It absolutely validates Federline's narrative before he even lays out his own much heavier allegations in the book.
Which is the perfect transition, really, because these texts, as shocking as they are, they feel like the setup.
Just the tip of the iceberg.
The memoir itself, You Thought You Knew, it's out October 21st, apparently, and it dives into claims that are, well, they move beyond emotional critique.
We're talking alleged physical danger, emotional trauma, all centered on the boys' time with Britney.
It's a lot, and if you're finding these layers of Hollywood strategy fascinating, maybe a little bit shocking,
make sure you're subscribed, because the claims we're about to discuss are genuinely difficult, and they're definitely going to shape how people see this whole situation for a long time.
Okay, let's move into the really serious claims Federline makes in the memoir. And we have to be clear here. These are his claims.
Unverified allegations, presented by him, the father, in a book he's selling. We need to keep that perspective.
Absolutely. Objectivity is key because some of these allegations are really serious. Potential harm, neglect.
Right. The one that's probably getting the most attention involves a knife.
Yeah. Federline alleges a pattern where Britney would apparently watch the boys sleeping sometimes holding a knife.
He describes Sean, Preston, and Jayden waking up, finding her just standing silently in the doorway.
And her only response, according to the book, was a quiet, "Oh, you're awake," before she'd just leave.
That image is incredibly unsettling, just thinking about it.
And it doesn't stop there. He details older claims, too. Physical stuff, emotional harm.
He alleges that back in early 2006, Britney actually slapped him in the face while he was holding baby Sean Preston.
Calling it the first time things got physical.
Then there are claims about emotional favoritism, allegedly favoring the younger son, Jayden.
Leading to Preston, the older one, feeling neglected. And apparently suffering from night terrors.
It paints a picture of a really tense household, psychologically speaking.
The book also claims disregard for their physical health, like forcing Jayden to ride horses despite severe allergies.
Or feeding him shellfish, knowing he was allergic. These are specific, damaging claims.
And then there's the allegation that Preston, when he was maybe 10 or 11, told Federline that Britney had punched him in the face.
And another claim about Preston being forced to bathe with her, making him really uncomfortable.
Taken together, these claims are Federline's explanation for why the boys allegedly stopped visits.
He quotes them as saying, "We're done, we're not going back."
Because they were emotionally drained. He even says they started recording things on their phones.
Video of Britney screaming at Preston over a shirt, apparently. Things like that.
Right.
Recording incidents.
So Federline uses all this to basically justify the book and its timing?
Pretty much. He frames it as a crisis situation, saying it feels like it's racing towards something irreversible.
And that something bad is going to happen if things don't change.
He's positioning the book and the distance the boys have created as a necessary intervention, protecting them.
It's an incredibly heavy narrative he's putting out there.
Which meant Britney's response had to be equally forceful, right?
Absolutely. There was no way she could stay silent on this. Which brings us to her counterattack.
Immediate, public, and, yeah, pretty fierce.
She went on X, formerly Twitter, on October 15th, called it constant gaslighting from ex-husband.
That phrase, gaslighting, is so loaded now and very strategic here.
Explain that a bit for listeners who might not be familiar in this context.
Well, by using it against Federline, she's essentially accusing him of psychological manipulation, trying to make her and the public doubt her reality, her version of events.
So framing the memoir not as truth, but as a deliberate attempt to distort things.
Exactly. Characterizing it as calculated lies, not genuine testimony.
And she was very clear about what she sees as the motivation behind it all.
Money. Plain and simple. She called the book White Lies.
And said, "Trust me, those white lies in that book, they are going straight to the bank."
And I am the only one who genuinely gets hurt here. It's a direct accusation. He's cashing in on her pain.
And to push back against his claims about the boys being drained or needing distance, she offered her own narrative.
Anchored it in, well, data almost. She claims she has always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys.
But then detailed this heartbreaking lack of contact.
Claiming one son only saw her for, 45 minutes in the last year?
Just 45 minutes. And the other son, only 4 visits in the past 5 years.
Wow. Releasing those numbers is a powerful move.
It totally shifts the focus, doesn't it? From her alleged failures to the reality of the separation, it paints her as the one isolated, the victim here.
This whole back and forth, it just throws into sharp relief how difficult it is to know what's really true when you have this kind of public battle raging.
Especially with a memoir dropping literally days from now. The timing is everything.
Feels like the end of the conservatorship didn't bring peace at all.
No, it just took the muzzle off, didn't it? Allowed this full-blown media war to erupt.
Yeah. We've seen the calculated text leak from a sister.
Deeply disturbing claims from an ex-husband.
And then this passionate counterclaim of gaslighting and financial exploitation from Britney herself.
It really makes you think about how even when someone wins their freedom legally,
the public narrative, controlled by others, can immediately challenge that autonomy. Especially when people feel they have something to gain or maybe lose from how the story is told.
It does leave you with a pretty heavy question, doesn't it?
For sure. If the courts, after 13 years, decided Britney was capable of managing her own life.
Does the court of public opinion, fueled by memoir claims and leaked texts, ever truly grant that same freedom? Or is the battle just shifting arenas?
Something to really consider.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.